Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Shauna from Pulse Cardiac Health. Today we're going to be doing a seated chair class. This is specifically for those who are just beginning back into exercise after your event, or maybe you just haven't done a lot of exercise for a little while. We're not going to be doing any kind of cardiovascular exercise with this class. This is purely strength and stretch. So for those of you who have been sitting for a little while and maybe feel like you need to do a light walk, get your body moving a little bit, get yourself warmed up, I encourage you to go ahead and do that. However, having said that, this is a gentle enough class that we're able to just go right into it if you want to. So all you need for this class is a tube or a band, that would work well, and a chair, something to sit in. Even the side of your bed would work too. For those of you who have had open heart surgery, there is a few motions in this exercise where we're going to be opening that chest. And so I really want you to be mindful of how that feels for you. If you don't have full range of motion in that chest just yet, then see how it feels. Modify as much as you need to, and definitely don't go into any sort of pain range. We want you to feel good. You should be at least 8 weeks post open heart surgery before trying this class. And if you are, then this is the class for you. All right, so when you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started. Alrighty crew, let's go ahead and get started. So just sitting comfortably, I want you to put one hand underneath you and then just sitting tall, bring your ear over to your shoulder. We're just going to start with a gentle neck stretch here. So we're not forcing anything. We're just letting that head weight sink down a little bit, stretching out that neck muscle, and then look over that same shoulder and down towards the floor. Making sure we're breathing, letting our body know it's okay to relax. Good, and then switch sides. Bringing the ear to the opposite shoulder. Good, and then same thing, looking over that shoulder and down towards the floor. Nice. Okay, come on back to center. We're just going to roll those shoulders around. We're going to get some circulation going here a little bit. Nice breaths, and rotate the other way. Excellent. Bring those shoulders on up to your ears now. Squeeze them and then let it go. And again, breathe. Squeeze those shoulders up and drop. Perfect. Okay, taking your band. We're going to work on our chest muscles now. So put the tube behind your back, around and underneath you. Grab on as far as you want to. So the further you cinch up on the band, the more resistance it's going to give you. So just choose for yourself where you want to be. You're welcome to adjust along the way. Getting those elbows out, sitting up tall, pulling your abdominal muscles, and then punch forward. So this is one of those exercises that for those of you that are just coming off heart surgery, or you're 8 weeks or so past having your heart surgery, these exercises can sometimes feel a little bit uncertain. And so I really want you to feel like the exercises feel okay. I don't want you to feel any pain or any kind of negative sensations whatsoever. So go through the range of motion as much as you want to and adjust according to how you feel. And as you get stronger, you might be able to do just a little bit more. 2 and 1. Good. Now we're going to take that tube above your head, and this is definitely one of those chest opener exercises as I discussed. So be mindful of how this feels. You're welcome to do this without the band completely and just do it with your own arms without any resistance. Open up that band down to your chest. Squeeze those shoulder blades and then release. And again, the more you're choked up on that band, the more resistance it's going to give you. So you decide how far you want to go here. We're just going to breathe, squeezing those shoulder blades together, pinching a pencil between that. And again, as I mentioned, if you want to do this without the band and just go through the range of motion with your arms only, then that's an option for you. Breathing is really important to help keep our blood pressure down. And so, or no spikes in that blood pressure. So making sure we keep that breathing happening. We're gonna do 2 more here. That's it, last one. Good, all right. Take your hands and reach forward, stretch that out, and rotate off to one side. Stretching through that rib a little bit, lift up on this shoulder slightly, and you'll get a nice stretch. And then we're gonna go to the other side. Same thing, lift up on this shoulder now, stretching through all the way down that side. And back to center, reach up towards the ceiling. Take a really big deep breath and blow it out. Good, fingers behind your back, or put your hands behind your back. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, open this chest up. Now again, see how this feels. If you're 8 weeks, you're gonna be pretty tender here still. So just open as much as you feel you can or want to. No pulling, pain, or negative sensations whatsoever. Take your time. Good. And then come on back to center. Okay, we're gonna do some bicep curls now. So put that tube underneath one foot. That handle a little bit shorter on the one side. Elbow tucked into your side. And then from here, you're gonna curl up. Now you can adjust based on how that feels. Good. Keeping that elbow pinned right into your side, so not letting that elbow come out and away, keeping it right tacked next to you. We're gonna try and do about 10 repetitions of each exercise, but my counting is something to be desired. It's not very good. Last 2 and 1. All right, switch. Other foot. Okay, elbow tucked in and lift. This is one of those exercise sessions that for most of you that have come out of cardiac rehab, this is a good place to start. Some of you are going to be a bit more advanced than this, and that's wonderful. For others, this is a good place to get going with some strength training. Whether you've had an MI, a heart attack, meaning you've had bypass surgery, you've had a valve replacement, anything. If your pump is not working quite as well, 2 more, last 1, good. All right, keeping that leg there, or keeping the tubing underneath that foot, just extend that leg out in front of you. You can place both handles into one hand, and we're gonna row. So just pulling that elbow, driving that elbow back behind you. Again, see how this feels with your range of motion. Keeping that elbow tucked in close, and it's just gonna tickle past your ribs as you pull back. That's it. Keep going. 3, 2, and 1. Keep your leg right where it is and just pass the handles to the other side. Same thing, row. Good job. Keep breathing. That's it, elbow driving past your ribs, keeping it nice and close to your body. Good work. 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Okay, now we're gonna do our triceps. So sitting nice and tall, fold the tube in half, and then put it on your opposite shoulder. So both hands are on the same side of your body. Your elbow is tucked into your side. Now you can either grab one band or both, depending on how much work you're wanting to do. And then from here, I'm just gonna turn sideways so you can see a little bit. You're gonna pull down. So your elbow starts at about 90 degrees and then pulls to full extension. Trying to work the back of our arms, or as some of my ladies say, that extra wave. Pulling down. Good. Strength training is really important for us all, but especially as we age, we lose so much of our strength so quickly. And so doing some strength training helps to keep our independence and keep that muscle mass as much as we can. It's really important for us. 2 more, last 1, good. And switch. So same thing, hand to your shoulder, both hands are on the same side of your body, elbow tucked into your side, and starting from about 90 degrees, pull down. Good. We want to keep those joints as healthy as we can. And so the muscles surrounding those joints and what supports those joints, we really got to make sure we work on a little bit. So strength training is a really good thing to do. Good job. Keep going and breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're just going to stretch that out. Palm up, flip it over top, elbow to the ceiling, and just hold here and breathe. That's it. Nice inhale, nice and slow, and exhale. And we'll switch to the other side, palm up, flip it over top, elbow to the ceiling, and hold. If you don't have very good range of motion in those shoulders and you find your elbow is more here versus up here, that's okay. Just get to that point where you feel a stretch and go from there. And again, it shouldn't be a painful stretch. It should feel good. We're all about the feel good here. All right. Good, let that go. Okay, we're gonna work on our shoulders now. So take your tube, put it underneath you, grab onto both handles. Stick one tube in behind one arm and then cinch up on the other side and give that as your anchor. From here, you're gonna punch towards the ceiling. Now again, if this is a bit too much for those shoulders, then you can do this exercise without any resistance or any tube at all. And just go through the range of motion with your arm only. Try and work on that full range, all the way up and then down. 2 more. Last one, and we're gonna switch sides. Perfect, okay, switch. Bring that tube in behind you, cinch up and punch. Keep going. Halfway there. 3 more. 2 and 1. Okay, time for our chicken dance. This is what some of my members call it anyway. Bringing that elbow up and down. Again, we're staying at about shoulder height and down, trying to control the motion all the way through, up and down. Making sure we're breathing, keeping those shoulders away from our ears, and we're sitting away from the back of our seat. So we're not leaning back, we're sitting up and holding ourselves upright. Good. 2 more here. And last one, we're gonna stay here. Hold it here and draw circles with those elbows. Good work. Keep going, keep breathing. It doesn't really feel like much, and then all of a sudden your shoulders start to feel it a little bit, and we're gonna reverse the other way. That's it, hang on, keep going. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let that down. Bring that arm across your body and we'll stretch that out. Let that feel good. Nice little stretch. And switch to the other side. Good work. All right, so we're gonna leave the upper body alone for a little bit and we're gonna work on our lower body. So sitting in your chair, just extend one leg out in front of you. From here, I want you to fire up that core and lift your foot up off the floor. Good, I'm gonna scooch back a little bit because I have a feeling you can't see my leg. Good, so extending and then lifting that foot up off the ground. If you feel like that's just a little bit too heavy for you, you're welcome to bend your knee and then lift from a bent knee position. Sorry, I couldn't talk there for a second. And keep lifting from there. It just shortens up that lever a little bit, makes the load a little bit lighter. Okay, staying with this same leg, we're gonna bend and extend, Trying to fight to stay upright. You're going to want to lean back. Try not to. Good work. Keep going. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Perfect. Other foot. Extending that leg out in front of you, sitting up tall, and then lift that foot up off the floor. And again, if you feel you need to, you can bend that knee and lift from there. Otherwise, keep that leg out straight and lift. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now we're going to bend and extend. Just like that. Good job. Fight to stay upright. Make sure you're breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now take your heel and plant it into the floor. Press really hard and then pull your leg back. Now we're working on the back side of our thighs, our hamstring muscles. So digging hard like we're digging a moat in the sand. Pull back. That's it. 3 more on this side and then we'll switch and do the same thing on the other side. Good, let's switch. Dig and pull. Dig and pull. Good work. Push hard, pull back. Halfway there. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So sitting with that leg out in front of you, sit up nice and tall, and then hinging from your hips, hinge forward. So we're not rounding our spine or caving in. We're keeping that chest up, back fairly straight, and then hinging forward. Your toes should be facing the ceiling. That's it. And just holding here. You should feel that sensation down the back side of your leg. And if that sensation starts to subside a little bit, then you can lean forward a little bit further. Good, and then we're gonna switch. So same thing on the other side. Sitting up tall, lean forward. That's it, you guys. Good job. Again, we don't want this to hurt. I don't want you to go so far that it hurts. I want you to just feel that it's a good stretch. Nice. Now rotate to the side of your seat. Drop that outside leg back behind you. Okay, and now sitting up tall here, you can use the side of the bench or the chair for balance if you'd like. You can lean back slightly, but the biggest thing is I want you to squeeze this bum cheek, and that's gonna help press those hips forward, and you're gonna get a nice stretch, not only in your quads, the front of your thigh, but also in your front of your hip flexors. These are muscles that get really tight when we do a lot of sitting, and we all do a lot of sitting, whether it be in front of the computer or the TV or sitting in the evening in a chair, whatever it might be. But this is an area that's really important for us to stretch and open up. It impacts our low back, impacts a lot of things. All right, let's switch. Other side. Back behind you, squeeze this bum cheek. Feel that stretch in the front of your hip as if someone's grabbing you from the front of your front pocket and pulling you forward. Making sure we're breathing. And again, we don't want it to hurt. So if it hurts, back off. Good stuff. Okay, back to center. Okay, from here, take your tube. We're gonna tie up our legs here. So feet are together, take the tube around and over top and underneath those thighs and hang on to it nice and tight. From here, we're gonna push our knees out against the tube as much as we can, okay? And we wanna make sure we have control coming back as well, so our knees aren't just slapping back together. We're controlling the motion on the way back too. This is working the muscles surrounding our hips. A good portion of those muscles are ones that we use for balance, for walking, for climbing stairs. So important ones. And a lot of people have had hip replacements And so working on those muscles surrounding our hips is a good thing. 2 and 1. Good. Okay, take one foot, extend it out in front of you, then take the other foot and cross it over your shin. So your ankle over your shin, and let this knee just fall out. If you don't feel the stretch in your hip at this point, then you can slowly work that foot up a little bit higher, and you may even need to bring that bottom leg in underneath as well, just depending on your range of motion and your flexibility. A little bit of gentle pressure on the inside of that knee just to push your knee down towards the floor. And sit up tall. You're going to want to lean back, bring your chest in towards the stretch, and just breathe. That's it. Nice. 2 more big breaths here. This is one of my favorites. I'm sure I've pretty much said that in every video that I've done this stretch to. I like it a lot. Good, and switch. All right. Other leg. So same thing, I went right into it, but if you start at the bottom and then work your way up, that's a good idea. One side might be a little more tight than the other, so don't just jam it in. Okay, see how that feels. And again, a little gentle pressure on the inside of your knee just to help gravity assist that knee in falling out down towards the floor. Sitting up, pulling yourself in towards the stretch. Nice breaths. Beautiful. All right, we're going to work on some abdominals now. So you can bring your hands across your chest, or if you feel more comfortable, you can put your hands behind your thighs to give you some support. We want to sit to the front of our seat so we have lots of space behind us to move. Okay, we're going to rock ourselves back and then rock forward. Only go as far as you feel you need to get those abdominals to feel like they're firing a little bit. And then just be in control. So we're not falling in either direction. Okay, we're not caving in either direction. We're controlling ourselves forward and back. Keep breathing. 2 more. Last one. Okay, bring those hands to the front of your feet. And then as we lean back, we're going to bring those hands above us. We're not touching the chair, and we're holding here. This is an isometric exercise, which means we're holding in our static position in the same position. Really important to breathe. Don't hold your breath. Keep breathing. Good. And then come on forward. We're going to do that 2 more times. So all the way back, get to the point where you feel like those abdominals have fired up. You can feel that there's some tension there, and just hold. Breathe continuously, okay? Making sure we've got that breath going in and out. Good, and then all the way back. Last time, here we go. Hold here. Keep breathing, you got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and forward. All the way. You can roll yourself right down. Let your head hang, let your arms hang. Let that low back release a little bit. And then roll yourself back up, stacking your vertebrae one on top of the other. And then once you come to the top, roll those shoulders around. Okay, we're going to put some weight into one leg, and we're going to do some calf raises now. So up onto your toe, and then lower back down. So you're lifting that heel up off the floor as high as you can, trying to get into full range of motion with that ankle. If you don't have full range of motion, I want you to lighten up the load a little bit. It's really important for us to be able to go through the big range before we start thinking about adding too much weight to it, okay? So really lifting up as high as you can, giving those ankles some love and working our calf muscles. Keep breathing, last 2, and 1, and then we're gonna switch sides. Putting some weight, you create the resistance here, up onto that toe. Good job, full range of motion. Our ankles are really important. And as you can hear mine cracking possibly, maybe someday they're gonna have ankle replacements, like hip and knee replacements. All right, keep going, 2 more. Last one. Good. Okay, so we're gonna stand up and I'm gonna move towards the wall here. So take your time. We don't need the tube anymore. Come on over to the wall. We're gonna do a stretch here. So I'm gonna put one foot behind the other. That back heel, we're driving that heel into the floor and pressing through our front knee. So that front knee is just bending a little bit. And we're gonna feel that stretch down the back side of our leg. And again, if you squeeze this bum muscle, you'll get a little bit of stretch in the front of your hip too, which is always a good thing. Good, and then we're gonna switch sides. Back heel pressed into that floor and bend your front knee. Good job, keep breathing. All right, from here we're gonna do some wall push-ups. So again, for those of you that are fairly recent off of heart surgery, at least 8 weeks or beyond, see how this feels. The closer your feet are towards the wall, the easier it is. So start with your feet relatively close, and then as you get more confident, you can work your feet back just a little bit further, adding some more weight and resistance to those arms and to your chest. Okay, so your hands are about shoulder width and shoulder height. You're gonna lower your chest in towards the wall and push yourself away. Trying to keep those elbows out. And again, if you can only go to here and back, that's absolutely okay. You start with whatever works for you. Keep going. Making sure we're breathing. Our belly is tight, keeping our back flat. 3 more, 2, and 1. Good, okay. We're gonna roll around, so our back is on the wall now. I'm gonna use this ball because my wall is textured and that's not gonna feel so good for me. But for the rest of you, just go flat against the wall. Walk your feet out in front of you so you're about hip width. Your legs, your feet are about hip width apart. Flatten your back in against the wall, squeezing those bum cheeks and making your low back flat like a pancake against the wall. And then from here, we're just gonna lower ourselves down, slide down, and we're gonna sit in our imaginary chair and just hold here. Again, really important that we're breathing. Keep that breath going in and out and really watching to make sure your knees aren't past your toes. So if you look down, you should be able to see the front of your toes. Good, and press back up. We're gonna do that 2 more times. Okay, so we're gonna pull our belly in, back is flat against that wall, slide ourselves down, and hold here in our very comfortable cloud chairs, pretending like we're squeezing a balloon between our knees, keeping those knees parallel, and press back up. Good job. We've got 1 more of those. Bend ourselves down, going only in a pain-free range. So if your knees are not happy, the lower you go, then keep yourself up just a little bit, okay? 3, 2, 1. Stand back up. Good job. All right, so just to finish off, we're gonna do a little bit of balance work. So using the wall or the back of a chair or something for balance, we're gonna pick up that outside foot and rotate your ankle around. And my ball is being annoying. There we go. Rotate that ankle around. We've got that wall for some balance. And rotate that ankle the other way. Good. And then switch feet. So flip yourself around, pick up that outside foot. Now use this opportunity to work on your balance. So only use the wall or whatever you're using for your balance support as minimally as possible. Allow that foot to do some toe tapping. Get that working a little bit. Get your brain figuring that out. Good. All right, one last exercise that we're gonna do. We're gonna do, it's called the reverse plank, but basically your elbows are gonna be into that wall. Walk your feet out a little bit in front of you and then pressing through those elbows. Your whole body is off and away. Squeezing your abdominals, squeezing your bum, and hold here. 3, 2, 1, and then rest yourself back into the wall. The further your feet are away from you, the more of a challenge it is. Okay, so you adjust based on how you feel. Press into the wall with those elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades together, pull in your belly, squeeze your bum, and make sure you're breathing. No holding your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll do that one more time and we're all done. Okay, here we go. Push and squeeze. Turn yourself into a board. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Let that down. All right, take a big deep breath. Breathe in and out. One more time. Breathe in and out. And you are all finished. Have a wonderful day.